What's going on, guys? Welcome into Lights Out Gaming. For those of you that are new here, my name is Mike, and what you are watching today is a continuance of my Tips and Tricks Thursday. We brought it back after taking a short break last week, and today's episode is going to be on how to get a vicious medal in Advanced Warfare. Now, some of you might have gotten it already, some of you might not know how to get it, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to describe how to get it, and then I'm going to go into the tips that I would recommend how you do that. So, a vicious medal, contrary to what most believe, is 30 kills with anything. It could be your score streaks, it could be gun kills, it could be anything at all, alright? So these are easier to get than, say, the nuclear medal in Black Ops 2, where it was 30 straight gun kills. Now, there is DNA bombs inside Advanced Warfare. A lot of you probably have not played inside of a lobby where there's been one, because I know personally I have about 13, 14 days played in between Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and I've only had one myself, and I've never been part of a lobby where someone else has gotten one. So I know they're extremely rare, and the reason for that is because of skill-based matchmaking. Now, skill-based matchmaking makes it extremely difficult to get these high streaks in this game because you're usually matched up with people of similar skill level to you, and it can be quite frustrating going for high streaks if that's happening. So that's what today's video is on. We're going to try and help you get some of those higher streaks, and I'm going to give you some tips in order to do such. All right. Now, I'd like to start by saying I used to watch these videos back in Black Ops 2. That was the first game that I actually started going for nuclears in. My first Call of Duty game was MW3, and I understand I'm a little bit late to the party. I do understand I used to play Madden and things like that, but Black Ops 2 was a fun game for me, but I always wanted the nuclear streak, and I was only probably like a 1.25 KD player, but I remember going on lunch break, you know, and I'd just sit in my car and I would watch videos over and over and use up all of our data on our plan, watching tips on how to get a nuclear medal. When creating this video, I started thinking about that and, you know, what I would have wanted to see in those videos, what would have helped me. So that's what I'm going to start with. So let's start with number one. You're going to need to have gun skill. That's something that you cannot not have. Now, granted, you don't have to be the best in the world or anything like that, but you need to have some semblance of gun skill so that you can win some one-on-one gunfights, because you're going to need to on the way to 30 kills. That needs to happen. What I'm saying in that is if you are consistently going, you know, 10 and 15 or 15 and 20, 15 and 25, don't start going for vicious medals or DNA bombs, because that's likely not going to happen unless you get into a lobby with kids with no thumbs or they are not playing. So first, if you're not consistently getting, you know, 10 gun streaks, maybe even 15 gun streaks, take your time and just practice a little bit more before actually going for these DNA bombs. Now, in this gameplay, I actually wasn't going for a DNA bomb until I realized I was about on a 20, and I was like, all right, I should probably play a little bit more cautious because, you know, my class was not set up at all for that. But the first tip would definitely be practice your gun skill. Make sure you have at least that down. Number two, use the best gun to fit your play style and play to its strengths. I know I've made some videos in the past where some people are like, you're playing a little campy with that gun. But that's the thing. If you're sitting there and you're playing with a burst assault rifle, you should not be running around into hard points. You shouldn't be doing that. Your job is to anchor down a spawn. And if you noticed in this game, I'm typically an objective player, but in this game I sat back. I played more of the anchor role for my team, where that's one of the tips that I'm going to give you in regards to going for your nuclear or DNA bomb or vicious medal, is you cannot overplay the objective. And I understand that I'm not a big fan of that myself, and it's going to hurt teams unless you're playing in a party and you actually play the role. You could see I had a few of my friends in this party because this was during Clan Wars, so I didn't think that I was going to be going for any DNA bombs or any vicious medals or anything like that. So our first tip was you need to have gun skill. So just continue to practice. If you know you have the gun skill, we're going to continue on with the tips. Number two was use the best gun to fit your playstyle and play to its strengths. In this game here, you almost never see me get into tight spaces. Why? Because I was using the HBR-A3 Insanity, and then I picked up a few guns along the way, but I stayed away from small spaces. I played to the strengths of the gun. Number three, that was do not play the objective too hard. Do not do that when you're actively going for a vicious medal. Number four, set up your class if you are going directly for it to support what you are going for. So, like I said, I was not going for a vicious medal in this game, so my class wasn't set up. But what I would suggest is that if I were you, I would run a silencer to keep you off the map as much as possible. Extended mags, if possible, and I would also run Scavenger. I usually don't run Scavenger on my classes. I'd rather just pick up a gun along the way. But if you're actively going for a DNA bomb or a vicious metal, you can throw Scavenger on your class and maybe just drop... I guess you'd have to drop Toughness because you definitely do not want to drop Blast Suppressor. Tip number 5 would be to play with a party. Now, what I mean by that, it's not using them as support. It's not using a guy in a party just to drag down the kill death of your lobby. Because my friends in this lobby, they're all... I want to say they were all around a 1.2, and me personally, I'm around a 1.5, 1.6. So play with a party though, and the reason I say that is because I want you to have communication. So let's say that you get on that 20 kill streak, and there's someone coming behind you. Your teammate can let you know and keep you in the know on where the enemy is. So when you get to about 20 or 25, this is something I screwed up a lot with in Black Ops 2. I started going for nuclears and I would blow it. I'd get to 20, 25 kills and I would just sit there and I would camp. I'd be like, I'm just going to camp for these last, 5 kills or whatever it was. And it never panned out for me. It really didn't. I did end up getting my first nuclear in that game, and it was like a monkey off my back. I ended up getting 3 in that game, and then Ghosts came out, and that was the chem strike. I want to say I had at least 10 chem strikes. And then in this game, I've only had 1 DNA bomb. Like I said, the skill-based matchmaking, it makes it really, really difficult to consistently do that well. So I really don't actively go for DNA bombs or vicious metals, but I understand the want. Like I said, I've been in those shoes before. Now, play cautious when you get to 20 or 25 kills. Not camp, but play cautious. And what I mean by that, there's those few areas on every map. Like on this map in particular, if you go over by I want to say it's the A flag, on top of the building there with the little head glitch, people know to look there. So I wouldn't actually go there. I'd go in inside one of the rooms towards the top. I don't know how to explain this map because it's all wide open. This is also not the map to go for a vicious metal or a DNA bomb in because you can get shot from so many angles. I just happened to luck out to get it in this map. Alright, now we're on to number 7. Number 7 would be to run the correct streaks. I see a lot of people kind of screwing this part up. And the reason is because they might run a paladin because they think it's going to rack up a bunch of kills. And it might do that, but it also can get you killed by laying there controlling something. I prefer streaks that I am not controlling. They just kind of go and do their thing and rack up kills in order to get that vicious streak. So there's different things you should be doing if you're running for the vicious or if you are running for the DNA bomb. The vicious, what I would recommend is that you would run the warbird with aggressor and extra time. The aggressor is going to take you out of it, so you just call it in, and it does its work. Extra time, obvious reasons we want it up there racking up kills. The next score streak I would run would be the aerial assault drone with rockets and AI control. Again, you just call it in, and it does its thing. You don't have to worry about it. It racks up kills. Now, the third one, every single person that has subscribed to me for a long time knows. On every single class, I believe that everyone should run a UAV with threat detection, extra time, and extra points. Now, if you're having trouble, reaching that first UAV, you could always run support to get it. But then again, if you're not able to reach it there, you probably shouldn't be going for DNA bombs just yet. Now, if you are going for a DNA bomb, you're not going to be running any kill streaks, but the score streaks that you should be running are just 2 of them. The 2 that you should be running is 1, that same UAV, with threat detection, extra time, and extra points to help cycle through your streaks faster. And the other score streak that you should be running would be the system hack, so you cancel out their exos and also run 2 extra times. You're able to run extra time twice on the system hack. It's just going to keep them, their radar's jammed. It's going to keep them frustrated, and you're going to continue to rack up those kills. In number 8, guys, have fun. I cannot express this enough. I've seen it in Black Ops 2. I've seen it in Advanced Warfare. Do not boost to get the vicious metal or the DNA bomb. I've seen it happen way too often in Black Ops 2, as well as I've caught a few boosters in Advanced Warfare. Obviously, it's something we want really bad. Don't get me wrong. I understand where you're coming from. I understand the want. But at the same time, when you eventually do get that nuclear metal, when you do eventually get that DNA bomb, when you do eventually get that vicious, it's going to make it feel that much better. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I wanted to make sure I came out with a video that you guys would enjoy. Thank you to all the new subscribers out there from Drifter's channel. I greatly appreciated everything that he did for me. We are now almost up to 500 subscribers where I get a custom URL. I cannot explain what this means to me, you guys. Thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do me a favor and leave a like and comment. Let me know how many DNA bombs you've had, how many vicious metals you've had. Did you get nuclears back in Black Ops 2? I'd love to hear from you guys, or even if this video helped you get to your first one, let me know in the comment section below. But until next time, lights out.